welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and I run a few businesses based around embroidery. So before we start this video, if you guys can give this video a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, it is the red button that says subscribe, and then hit the bell notification. That way you get notified whenever I upload a video or I go live. So I am the owner of Kids Custom Designs. I have an Etsy shop, which is Kids Custom Designs as well. And in my last video where I posted my first year earnings on Etsy, a lot of you guys had a lot of questions about taxes and whatnot, and just business questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to answer some of those here for you in this video. Also, in the last video about the my first year on Etsy earnings, I did not include, it was gross sales, if that makes sense. The fees were not included, so that question was asked a lot, so I'm answering it here. And I did try to answer it a few times in the comments, but there was so many comments that asked the same thing, so couldn't answer every single comment that said that. So yeah, just putting that out there. For Etsy or a business in general, there was a lot of questions about taxes, business license, business names, record keeping, receipts, and everything. So I wrote down a few things down here, so if you see me look down here, I just put a few things so I didn't want to forget something, and if I still forgot something, just comment it down below and I'll try to answer it, or I'll do a whole nother video again, which is not a problem at all. So I guess I'm trying to figure out where to start. So I guess we could start here from, do I need to have a business license to sell on Etsy, or can I just, you know, use my social? So Etsy, you can use your social, that's not a problem. I use my social still to this day. Well, kind of. As of this year, 2020, I've gotten a business license. So like I said, that's 2020. I've done Etsy since 17? So 3 years without it. I was doing the self-employed version of QuickBooks. So that goes to record keeping, but I'm gonna stay on track of business license. So no, you do not need a business license. So when it comes to taxes at the end of the year, Etsy will give you a 1099, depending on if you've made $20,000 or more, or if you've had 200 sales, they will issue you a 1099. A 1099 is, I guess, a little bit similar to like a W-2 form you'd get from your job, but the 1099 is just Etsy saying, hey, this is how much money we've paid you and has been deposited into your account. So this is this person's total sales. That's how Etsy does it. So not how much we've paid you, but how much you've made in sales, I guess, putting that out there. So they give you your gross sales for the year in a 1099. So you'll get that, and even if you do not get that, you need to report your income. So let's say you made $3,000 in Etsy, you need to report that you've gotten $3,000, because then you'll have problems later. So if I'm being completely honest, my first year doing Etsy and the flea market and everything, I went to my accountant with a bag full of receipts, okay? A bag full of receipts. So my accountant looked at me like I was crazy as I don't know what, and it was a little embarrassing, but I didn't know any better. I was like, I needed my receipts, here's my receipts, here you go. So you can do that. That's an option. If you don't have an accountant, that's okay, but I do suggest you get one at a certain point, unless you're good at doing it yourself, because you don't want to miss any tax breaks that you can have that an accountant would know about. And you want to make sure everything's done correctly. You don't want, you know, IRS coming for you or anything like that. Like, I don't want any headaches. I'm like, I'd rather have the accountant do it and know it's done correctly. But I can still give you guys, you know, what I've gone through, my experiences, what you should do to look out for. So I was just sitting here and I was like, I don't know if I explained it well enough. So let me try to explain it a little bit more, in a little bit more detail. How do taxes work? So pretty much your sales that you get on Etsy, Facebook, wherever you get electronic payments, cash, you can't really track cash. So, but electronic payments, you make Shopify, GoDaddy, Etsy, Amazon, all of that needs to be taxed. You need to pay taxes on your income like you would a normal job. So at the end of the year, you get a total of your income. Now, if you make it monthly or weekly, you keep track of how much you make, you add it all up, and you take it to, I don't know if you do your taxes yourself, you have an accountant. And you see that big number. So let's just say it's $30,000. That's your total income that you have for the year. You have to pay tax on it. So you're trying to get that $30,000 as small as possible. So by that, what I mean, you don't want to pay you don't want to pay taxes on the entire $30,000. You want to make that number small so you pay less. So everything you've purchased for your business, you subtract it. So those are called Schedule C deductions, deductions in general. So you deduct the shirts cost, the shipping cost, any software you bought, things you purchased to make your items, things you need to make your items, services that you use, everything you purchase to run your business is what you can deduct. So you have the total gross income, your fees on Etsy, anything like that you deduct. Shipping, and let's say you got to like $10,000. So then you only pay tax on that $10,000. So that's the goal of taxes. You want to pay on the $30,000 because that's a lot of money. So you want to get as close to the real number as possible. I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And then from that $10,000, you pay the IRS tax, and then you pay, which is federal, and then you pay state tax. So whatever state you live in, you pay tax on that money as well. So just wanted to hopefully make it make a little bit of sense. I'm not an accountant, I'm sorry, so don't quote me on none of this stuff, okay? I'm just saying based off my own experiences, that's the goal, is just to get your bottom line as small as possible so you don't pay as much. And it's not called making stuff up, it's legit things you purchased, okay? Putting it out there, disclaimer, okay? All right, cool. So let's get back to the video. First thing with record keeping and inventory, or not inventory, but like record keeping, receipts and stuff, Etsy gives you the option of QuickBooks Self-Employed. So if you do not have a business license, QuickBooks Self-Employed, it works for you because it automatically imports all your Etsy sales. So it already automatically imports the sale, the fees, the shipping. So you'll be able to see your profit and loss just based on those things. Now that doesn't include materials and supplies, but you can scan your receipts and it uploads it to QuickBooks. So then you have everything together, so you don't have to keep a big bag of receipts at your accountant. You can just, it's all right there in front of you. So that's an option, and I like that option because tracking every single sale is no, I don't want to do all that. So it's done automatically through Etsy. Now if you're a business, you have a business license, then I would use QuickBooks Plus, which I just signed up for like 2 weeks ago. My accountant hated QuickBooks Self-Employed because he is used to businesses who use QuickBooks Plus, and now that I have it, I see the difference. So QuickBooks Plus, it asks for more details. There's a lot more details in it. So like if you buy something, it's like, okay, you bought this, so there's a receipt, but where did that money come from? Like what account, where? So there's QuickBooks Plus, which I suggest if you already have a business. And I will still keep QuickBooks Self-Employed just so that I have all the Etsy fees and transactions in a separate QuickBooks so I can see everything and still give it to my accountant. Just extra. Yes, it costs I think $17 a month for me, but I think if you go on Etsy, it's a little bit cheaper. But to me, it's worth it because I would just like to play it safe. $17 a month to save me from a headache, I'll do that any day. So another thing to keep in mind, which I didn't do until this year, also try to keep your personal and business expenses separate. Now, a lot of us, in the beginning stages, that's impossible. So what I was doing was keeping the receipts, like I told you, and I just realized this now because my accountant looked at me like I was crazy. I had all my receipts in like a spreadsheet. So like every purchase I make from Amazon, I put in a spreadsheet on Google, and he was like, okay, this is what I spent on Amazon for my business this year. I'm talking so fast again, let me slow down. I had a spreadsheet and I was like, this is what I spent on Amazon this year, on shirts, on fabric, so on and so forth. And he looked at me like, what are you giving me this for? He's like, where's your bank accounts, your bank statements? So the easier way to do this, so I can save you guys from doing this stuff over, because I have to do it again, go through your bank statements and highlight the business expenses, and then you can just add those every month. Just do that every single month. So much easier, guys. So when you do have it mixed up with business and personal, like for your bank account, a lot of us have it that way because a lot of us, if you don't have a business license, you can't have a business bank account. So just highlight all the ones that are business and add them up. So that will save you a huge headache and not having to have 10,000 receipts. So like receipts I would keep are like if you made a big purchase, a laptop, an embroidery machine, stuff like that that you need proof because it's an asset, then I would keep something like that. Because most things you buy online, they already have the invoices for, so you can easily go back to it. But like obviously if your receipt says Joann's is a business expense. Well, in my business, which is embroidery, fabric, sewing, that type of thing, Joann's is an expense, a business expense. But if you can, definitely try to have different bank cards. So even if you open another checking account and it's not a business checking account, but you only use it for business, then hey, that works too, in my opinion. That totally works. Other things to consider. So when I was first doing just, you know, self-employed, I bought a machine, I can write it off. But now that I'm a business, I buy a machine, then you have to pay personal property tax on it. So like the machine is $10,000, for instance. I took it as a write-off, but every year I have to pay $600. It's like sales tax, $600 on it every year. But it does depreciate in value every year, so it'll be a little bit less every year. But you have to pay that every year when you have a business license now. Before it was self-employed, it was a write-off. So there's that to consider. A lot of you guys also wanted to know how since I have so many different businesses, how I do it. So Shopify, they have a dashboard where they have reports and dashboards, analytics, so I could see all my sales for the month. So every month I just get all my sales, and they have a shipping, and I could see how much I paid for shipping. And my accountant, I just give it all to him every month. These are all the sales I had on Shopify this month. Here's the fees, which is like the processing fee that Shopify has. And here's how much I paid in shipping so far this month, and I give that to him. So you always want to try to keep on top of everything and keep all your receipts, because literally every penny counts at this point, every single penny, because it's a difference in the tax bracket. So you can go from a low tax bracket where you only pay 24% to a higher tax bracket when you pay 37%. Now 37% is on the highest end, but stuff like that. So if it's $1 that takes you from one tax bracket to the next, you better put it in dollars, and you don't, I ain't giving nobody my money for free. Nope. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think, guys. I kind of went over everything I wrote down already. Oh, so a lot of people are asking a business name versus a DBA. So a DBA is a doing business as. So my business is Kids Custom Designs LLC, and I have a DBA for AJ Blanks, because I also do business as AJ Blanks for my shirt business. So I bought that DBA. So that's something else. So you still file your taxes under Kids Custom Designs, your business. You don't file it under your DBA. I'm trying to think of things. So obviously things you keep receipts for, you can write off as like all your materials, all your supplies. If you're self-employed, when I worked out of my house, well, I still work out of my house, but now it kind of doesn't apply since I'm a business now. But the my phone bill, I took that off. My electricity bill, a third of that, because a third of my house is my workspace. I did that. Internet, that bill, all the materials, like I said. I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, my rent or mortgage, a third of that, because it was a third floor that I used. Things like that. That's what you can write off. Sorry, I have so many emails coming through. Also, when you're paying taxes, you do pay the IRS and you pay your state. So the state isn't as much as the IRS, at least not for my state. I know every state is a little bit different. So also keep that in mind. Also, businesses, you can pay your taxes. If you're self-employed, you can estimate your own tax and you can pay into your taxes. You just put your social security number on the IRS website, and then you just pay some money. So you pay $50, $100 every month, so that at the end of the year it doesn't kill you. You can do that. That's an option. Or you can pay them quarterly, so every 3 months you can pay taxes. And if you overpay, you will get a refund back. I think it's best to pay something, so that at the end of the year, you're just like, oh, you owe $20,000, and you're like, oh my god. Now, if you only made $10,000, no, you're not paying $20,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. A good idea is 25% of your income. You should try to put it away or save for taxes. or 25% of all your sales, I mean, that you get that you don't already pay taxes on. Or you could do the 25% and just pay them. And like I said, at the end of the year, after you get your taxes done, and they'll be like, oh, you don't owe anything, you're gonna get a refund because you overpaid. That'd be nice. Or get a little savings account and put 25% of everything for taxes. I'll be honest, I didn't do it. I sucked, and I almost cried when I had to pay taxes this year because I was like, holy crap. And that's why I ran a sale, if I'm being honest. So try to stay on top of it. It's hard because you're like, why do I gotta give somebody my money? Like, I'll give you 6%, but I don't want to give you everything. That's another thing. Sales tax. So in Maryland, sales tax is 6%. So 6% of your sales you need to pay to the state of Maryland. So that's not end of the year tax, that's monthly. You could do it quarterly, I believe, too. So if you live in Maryland and you buy from me, I have to pay sales tax on it. So I have to pay 6%. And then if you're late, then you gotta pay like 10% of the 6% additional. So I gotta pay 10% of the 6% because I suck at doing it, and I need to do it now. That is something to keep in mind, because when you do register as a business, that's only if you're a business and you have a business license for sales and use tax. That's what that's for. Another benefit of registering yourself as a business is that you may not have to pay sales tax on certain things if you're reselling them. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And you can get things wholesale if you have a business license. So again, and a lot of places though, they do ask you for an address to your business. Sometimes they want to come look at your business, look at what you have to make sure it's a real business. I've had that a few times. Annoying, but it's happened. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I hope I'm not missing anything. I think I touched on it already. Was the your business bank statements. You can use those. That's what QuickBooks Plus asks. Okay, you used $50 at Joann's. Okay, you have the receipt for it, but where did the money come from? Let me see where it's coming out of, which account, where, because everything needs to add up and be equal. So as you get bigger, try to keep all these things in mind. It gets a little harder. Now, from self-employed to a business, I feel like I pay a little bit more taxes as a business right now, because self-employed you can write off a little bit more. But like I said, as my business grows, I'm sure it'll make more sense. I just went for a business this time because I felt like I was making a little bit more. My account looked at me like I was crazy when I did it, but I was like, I need things separate. I was getting so confused and so overwhelmed, and he's happy now that we're getting everything squared away, so 2020 won't be a headache like the last few years. I'm a normal person. You guys know I'm transparent. I probably doing what everyone else is doing because you don't know. There's no way to know until you're in the situation, and I had nobody to ask. Like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? So I was just winging it, and that's okay. So I'm hoping I can help you at least a little bit in figuring out how taxes work. What do I need to do? What do I need to have? And maybe this didn't help you at all. I hope it helped you a little bit in knowing. I looked at my account, he looked at me, and I know my husband thinks it's the funniest thing because my account is the only person who could look at me and say, you got your whole life a mess. Like, you need to do better. And my husband lives for it because there's no one. I can't yell at my accountant because he's doing me a favor. He's cleaning up my mess. So I'm trying so hard to get everything organized and keep it organized for this year. Like I said, don't wait until the end of the year to do it, which is what I've done for 2 years. I wait till the end of the year, then look through all my purchases and try to get it all together. Don't do that. Do it monthly. It'll make your life so much easier come tax time because you remember what you bought. Because if you wait until the end of the year, you're gonna forget things you purchased along the way, and then you're gonna end up paying taxes on it when you didn't need to pay taxes on everything because you had extra $2,000 in deductions you could have taken. So mileage, your gas mileage, that's tax deductible. If you've been going to the post office, that's tax deductible. If you've been paying for post office pickups, that's tax deductible. Things like that. So think about it and try to get it together. Don't be like me. Don't wait forever and have a headache at the end of the year. Try to do it early and pay taxes on time if you can, monthly, quarterly. Just, you got $1,000, you got your stimulus check, throw that into taxes. Hey, at the end of the year, you might get it all back. You didn't need to pay it. But it sucks when you do a whole year and you had all this money, and then, hey, they come to you and say, you owe $18,000. You're like, $18,000? Where the heck am I going to get $18,000 from? And now, like I said, it's $18,000 a number. It may be $2,000, but still, $2,000 to some people, that's a lot of money to come up with. A lot of money. So I just want you guys to at least have a bit of an idea. So safe rule of thumb, 25% of everything, all your sales, you need to put away. Okay, keep that in mind, please. Try to put it somewhere. Maybe you got an envelope with some cash, you put it somewhere. I like hiding money. Well, I shouldn't tell y'all where I like to hide my money, but I put money in my jacket pockets in my closet, some cash if I ever have it, and then like a year later I go, which just happened when I went to my house yesterday, I found $20 in my pocket, and I was like, coffee. So I hope this video helped you guys out at least a little bit, and if it did, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps YouTube know people actually like my content, and I helped you out, and it helps me out. And also consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell notification. That way you do get notified whenever I do post a video. Always feel free to leave any comments of any video ideas you guys would like me to create. I try to do them. I get a little distracted sometimes, a little busy, but again, I love creating content. I like making videos, and you guys already know I love helping people. We are almost at 70,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe and help me get there, I would really appreciate it. Congrats on your business. Good luck on your business. I hope it is super successful for you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.